Proportion. Maybe you've heard the word proportion or proportional before. What does proportional mean to you? Anybody got a thought processor, Charlie?
Proportion is the virtual statement that can be.
Are you reading it out of the book? Proportions in the old 6th grade word. Anybody in the 6th grade word? What does that something mean to you? Connor?
The amount of something.
That's what?
The amount of something is
It is kind of amount. But if I say something is proportional, if I said your head was proportional to your body,
It's abnormally large.
no, that would be. I would say your head is abnormally large if that's what I was saying. A baby's head is not proportional to its body because a baby's head is actually much bigger in comparison to what your head is now. Proportional is kind of like you think about a balloon. As you blow up a balloon, as you blow it up, the sides grow proportionately. Proportionally. Which simply means this, you start with your little balloon here, and it looks like this. As you blow it up and it gets bigger, one side doesn't stay flat while the other one gets a lot bigger. It goes, they all grow, you grow, and then the whole thing kind of grows together as one big thing. And that's what we talk about when we talk about proportions or proportionately. And as Charlie was getting to say, the book says in math, when you talk about proportions, it's kind of the same thing. Proportion is, when you have a proportion, you have two quantities, they compare two ratios that are equal. Two ratios that are equal. In other words, you can make it just about anything. Let's say you're reading a book. If you can read 5 pages in an hour, God bless you, that is a proportion. 5 pages. You have done this in the same amount of time that it takes for an hour to go by. Those two things are equal. They just use different units of measurement. Now in math, when we talk about proportions, we also have to think about proportions. Write this down. Proportions form equal fractions. They're all related in one way, shape, or form. They're all related in one shape or form. In other words, these fractions are proportional. Well, let's use this one I did here. If you read 5 pages in 1 hour, if I make an equal fraction to that, it's proportional and it would be the same. How long would it take me to read 10 pages? Well, if I'm making an equal fraction to that, what do I do to 5 to get to 10? I multiply by 2, so I multiply the bottom by 2. 5 pages in 1 hour is the same as 10 pages in 2 hours. Or, if I said, how many pages could I read in 5 hours? Well, now I'm going from 1 to 5. What do I multiply by? 5. So what's the top going to be? I think 5 times 5 is 25 pages. If you're reading at 5 pages per 1 hour, you will get 25 pages for 5 hours. So when you think about proportions, think about making equal fractions. Because the book will ask you questions such as this. It'll say, what ratio forms a proportion? What ratio forms a proportion with 4/3? Well, as long as you give me a fraction that's equal to 4/3, that's going to be true. What? Give me a fraction that's equal to 4/3. Brenda Massey?
86.
Yeah. 8/6 would be proportional to 4/3. Another one, multiply both the top and bottom by the same number. What if I did 3? 12/9 is proportional to 4/3. If I did them by 4, 16/12. Those are proportional and proportions. They will also give you something like this. 6/7 equals what number over 49? Stuff that we've already done before. That is being proportional. Equal fractions, what number would go up there?
72.
Not 72.
42.
42. 6 times 7 is 42. That is being proportional. Let's see, what else do they ask you? Oh, write this down. Sometimes they write it out in words and they'll say it like this. 4 is to 3 as 4 is to 3 as 12 is to what number? As 12 is to what number? How would that look if I wrote that out? It looks like this. 4 is to 3. That's your fraction. 4 is to 3. This is like a fraction line. As 12 would go on top is to what number? 4 is to 3 as 12 is to what number? And Trevor says,
9.
right, multiply the top by 3, so you multiply the bottom by 3. And you get 9. So if you just think about things when they're proportional as being equal fractions, what does it say? Hold on a second. Yeah. That will probably just make your life that much